What's up, people? We're here, talk of the town, and I got my friend Anthony Rose with me today. Welcome, Aunt Rose.
What up, people?
How's it feel to be home?
Your boy's in the building.
He's in the building. He came to town, made a rare appearance. Every like 6 to 8 months, we get blessed with Anthony Rose's presence.
Oh wow, not that.
Came to the Empowering Youth Luncheon this morning to support your girl. I hosted the luncheon. It went well. Hopefully, raised a lot of money to support these youth who are out here hustling and doing their thing in high school, but may not have the means to make it to college. So that's what we were doing this morning.
Definitely.
Did you enjoy it, Ann?
I had a good time.
Yeah?
I had a good time. It was good to catch up. It was great to see Ann Ramsey Jenkins. She's
Ramsey,
amazing.
our hero.
So, known her for years. Little lady that's very mighty and was the co-founder of College Success Foundation, the reason why we got our scholarships. Herself and Bob Craig.
Yes, thank you, Ann Ramsey Jenkins and Bob Craig, for creating a movement, for making power moves 20 years ago. Both Anthony and I benefited from that, so thank you for having vision, being a visionary. You taught us the steps to take.
Indeed.
So how's it feel to be home, man?
Feels cool, man.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
back to the hometown.
It's beautiful out here. The weather's good.
The weather's been amazing.
You know, got to catch up. Got to go on to a comedy show.
All right, Kanisha. Shout out
killed
to
it.
Kanisha Bus.
Mark Vieira, Ralph Porter, Anthony Tibbs. So it was a good time. Getting to see everybody. I think I come home, get a new pair of lungs, get to recalibrate, get to see everybody. So yeah.
Awesome.
It's cool.
Well, we're happy to have you here today. We're going to talk a little bit about some things that have been going on. We took a little break for a week or so. Midterms were happening at Seattle University. Okay. Him again had to step out, refocus.
Him again.
His name is Bradley, but you know.
Him again.
There might be some preconceived notions or some judgments based on his name. He's partially German, so his on-air name is him again. So
gotcha.
It's him again. Get it?
Gotcha.
Right? Yeah. So you posted something actually on your Instagram like a week ago talking about Childish Gambino, his new video, This Is America. Tell the people share your thoughts here with the people on that. You had a really in-depth breakdown of what was happening. Talk to us.
Childish Gambino is a young legend. I felt like his video really spoke to a lot of things currently going on within society. Clearly within music, but to me it was a very self-reflective type of video as to the power of an artist and their effect on their community, and what happens to them when they finally have the realization that maybe the entertainment value they feel like they're adding is doing more harm than good.
Right.
I felt like a lot of people looked at it as far as like his stance on like, oh, well, you know, white people shoot up America and violence and people only wanting black people to entertain. But I also felt like they missed the point of how while he was the entertainer, that the kids were solely focusing their cameras on him. Mm-hmm. They were impervious to the stuff around them, so they thought. But there was that point where he turns that imaginary gun on them. And then he had that realization of like, wait a second, I've just turned on my own. Mm-hmm. And from there he's isolated and he has this upper level of consciousness, and we pull out of that box of him standing on the cars through that frame, and next thing you know we pan up and he's running from the very thing that he was just contributing to. So I think it's almost like we get blinded by the music and the entertainment, and we think that we're above it all. And so people were like, oh, is he talking about Kanye? I don't think he's necessarily talking about Kanye. I think he's talking about all artists in general.
Yeah. And
how you get to a point where you think like you're immune from that until you're not, and by then it might be too late. Right. And that awareness there. But I think he's phenomenally talented. It was a reminder to me to stop squelching my views on things so much, and just to continue being bold and creating the type of art that's also going to cause those conversations. And true art upsets the comfortable and comforts the afflicted, and that's what he did.
I like that. I seen that on your Instagram. Yeah, when we seen your analysis of that, both Nick and I were like, there's Ant. There he is. He's back. He came back.
I'm back.
Analyzing the good for the people. Yep. So what do you think about our Uncle Bill, man? Bill Cosby. We haven't talked about him. We haven't addressed him on the show, but we have to. I mean, apparently he has jail time coming his way. And he's so fragile, so frail.
Look, man, okay. There's nothing as a man that I could say on either end of the spectrum that is going to not be picked apart.
Yeah.
That's not going to
I mean, we're not trying to justify here.
No, I'm not justifying anything. Clearly, so many people come through. There is something going on.
Right. Yeah.
Whether we talk
and
about
you don't
agendas,
think, as Claire Huxtable says, I only call her Claire Huxtable, you don't think that it was a hoax and people are trying to take his fortune down?
I mean, there's a lot of other elements to that. For me, because I'm like a student of, I guess, history and film and media, and we're all products of the times that we're in. It's like almost like if Eminem was to come out with an album now, like one of his first albums that he did back in the day now, in this sensitive ass climate that we're in, it wouldn't fly at all. He wouldn't be Eminem. He would have been shelved. With Bill Cosby, it's unfortunate because as an artist and what he did and the things he was champion for, but then you don't know that man's home life. You don't know what he does, anything like that. So I'm going to say this without saying that I'm justifying it, or like as Nick was saying, like, well, then you're just using white male patriarchy to excuse the ills of what black men have been doing. I'm not saying that. But for anybody that, has made the jokes and talked about, or the situations was like, oh, well, he was using Quaaludes and all that. Don't forget, we talked about Leonardo DiCaprio should have been nominated for an Academy Award for Wolf of Wall Street. And when you watch Wolf of Wall Street, which is a movie that captures those times, the 70s, and it's rampant with this was a party drug thing. It was a thing. Yeah. Now, with the situation with him, it's messed up. He did the crime. You got to do the time, but to what extent? And I guess the slippery slope is there were people that spoke out, and so definitely you got to use that. And I'm glad they were brave enough to come along now. But it was like, man, it took this long.
Right.
And I think that's the thing that's
a part of why Felicia Rashad was so doubtful.
Yeah, and that's what also comes to, and not to take away anybody's story. Trust me, I have family, friends that have been victims of that unfortunate act, and it pisses you off or whatever. And I definitely am like, hell no. But I guess I guess what I'm saying is it's hard not to separate the business, politics, the money, the finance, the influence. Just as hard as it is for us to separate Bill Cosby, man, versus Cletus Huxtable. Right. You know what I mean? So that's the unfortunate part. It's definitely like, I really just don't have an opinion on it because it's not going to give anybody else it's not going to give their sense of dignity back. It's not going to make them feel complete again, like they didn't have something taken from them, whoever was like rightfully feels that they were affected by him. Right. So to me, I think the saddest part is for his impact on the culturally, like the Cosby Show and that stuff to be stripped from
taken out from all the media.
Exactly. Right. That's what is going to be more detrimental because you don't have one of the most historic, iconic shows that shows a black family in a positive light, fluently out there for anybody anymore. And now anybody coming along is going to only hear the connotation of him as this
the
evil
generation.
Yeah, and so, until, but then again, like, a TV show like Blackish might be the version of the Huxtable.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to me, so it's just a very...
That part is sad.
That part is sad.
There's a legacy there. He, created a space for black families on television, and that's the sad part of this entire deal. Outside of the fact that he's older now. The thought of him being in prison makes me sad. I mean, I take very much a niece, this is my uncle stance, but as you stated, if he did the crime, you got to pay the time, and that's unfortunate. So I appreciate you staying safe with that.
Staying safe.
No opinion one way or the other.
Hey, look, it's
stay in that safe space.
It's not. It's almost like the whole conversation about Kaepernick and people taking a knee or whatever, and it's easy from the outside looking in to say, "Oh yeah, I would do it." But when there's so many factors in media and sports and film, I mean, any job at any point, when you take a stance one way or another, and when it comes to the court of public opinion about that type of situation, whatever I think my stance is not going to help it either way. The only thing I could do is, in my day-to-day and my work environments and things that I do, is to make sure that I'm championing people around me and fostering a community of inclusivity. And I mean, that's what it's all about, is empowering people to be the best that they can, finding the best of the best, working together. But there's a lot of people.
That's why we're here today.
That's why we're here today. But there's a lot of people that kind of scapegoat, and when they're inadequacies in their jobs, you know, this is men and women. It's easy to just hide behind them and critique, as opposed to going out and trying to make yourself better. So, yeah.
Only thing you can do is focus on yourself, your own actions, and that's the only thing you can make a difference in.
That's true. What did you think about it?
For sure. Like I said, I think it's really sad. I know outside of the allegations, he has a legacy. Cosby Show was one of my favorite shows to watch growing up as a young girl and as a model of what a young Black successful family look like. So it's just really sad to see that legacy crumble. If he was indeed slipping women quaaludes, not the best situation. You gotta, pay the time for doing the crime. So it's really unfortunate. Just sending love and support to Uncle Bill and Camille and their family. It's really sad to me if he had to do that, because he was I don't think he had to, but that he felt that was necessary. He was Bill Cosby. He was really successful. He was doing well. He had a great show on television. So it's unfortunate that all of that wouldn't lead to you making a different decision about, your day-to-day interactions, who you allow in your home, in the hotel room, who you interact with. But it's just sad to me. The whole thing is just sad. Thinking of that, 80-year-old man going to jail for 10 plus years, and the thought of, when you get to that age, you don't know when the end is going to be. So thinking, the thought of people dying, passing away in prison is really sad to me, and that's unfortunate. So.
And as Paul Mooney said, he didn't have the complexion for the protection, so.
Yeah. Too bad. So, did you hear about Google partnering with Beyonce to donate to 4 additional HBCUs in addition to the original one that she said she was going to give? I think it was $100,000 to.
I did.
Thoughts on that?
I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, I think what Beyonce, to me, Beyonce is an epitome of speaking truth to power. She picks and chooses her moments very wisely on the thing that she wants to talk about.
Use that platform.
Yeah, and she definitely has increased single-handedly HBCU enrollment.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure the numbers aren't out. I think it's a good gesture by Google. They probably realized, though, that like, hey, our intel, our Google Insights let us know that this consumer base is buying X, Y, and Z. So let's go ahead and just donate, 0.5% of what they spend on our stuff back to them. But I mean, I think anybody giving money to HBCUs is great. I think, as we both know, it comes down to also supporting those students throughout their career and afterwards. So, it's a start. And I think it's a great start. So it's definitely a start, and I look forward to continue seeing things like that. But I met people from Google, and I know people who specifically really are about just championing causes and making stuff better. And, we can't expect anybody to come in and solve our problems and make things better. But I'm glad that they're aware and that they wanted to hop on board with Beyonce. And it sounds like it's going to be something that continues to grow and go,
For sure. Shout out to Beyonce for using her platform for the better, to uplift the community and to kind of move this younger generation towards consciousness.
Yeah.
Her and Childish Gambino, actually. We talked about both of them today.
Yeah.
So, speaking of that, I just realized we didn't really give the people a proper introduction of what you do.
Oh.
So, Anthony Rose, a.k.a. Aunt Rose CEO. Tell the people, I know the frame of mind behind the Aunt Rose CEO title, but tell the people what that looks like for you, where that came from.
Okay, so the CEO is an acronym. I was always big about connecting each other, creating excellent opportunities. So it was never necessarily like, ooh, I'm the CEO. But I did feel like, by creating opportunities, I was going to be the CEO of my life. Overall, of course, God is the head of my life, but to be the CEO of your own destiny, your faith, the things that you put, out there.
Important job that we all have.
Yeah, so it came from that, but recently I won't say that I've gotten away from the moniker, but because where I'm going is film, it's driven, and I think there's a lot in the name, and there's a lot of things that you can kind of like speak into existence. So C.E.O, I was just like, I don't want to be the business guy. I want to be the business. And so at this point, the quote Jay-Z, so now it's about surrounding myself with people who understand the business of Anthony Rose. And Anthony Rose, the film director, producer, the on-camera talent, author, motivational speaker. So all these things, like, in life, people are always like, oh, well, what's your passion? What's your lane? What are you doing? And then you have the Childish Gambinos of the world that once they're successful, they're like, oh, they're dope. This person sings and they write and they do this. But he was probably the same type of person like, man, you got to pick one. It's like, you don't. Like, some of us just happen to be pretty damn good at a lot of shit. And I'm owning that and saying that I am one of those people. I have a lot to work on and a lot of things to improve. But I'm realizing that, in life, whatever you're good at, whatever you want to do, nobody's going to do it like you. Like, in essence, you do, you run a family center, you're doing a podcast, you're out here getting people in touch with their fitness, you're a mom, you're hosting events.
I think it's critical to do the things that bring joy into your life. Like, regardless of, I don't think either of us are doing things that fit into the lane of our degree or, the areas that we received degrees in and, got our education in. But at some point in your adulthood, you learn that, consumerism and capitalism kind of run this world that we live in. So you got to make money. That's a given. Especially if you have a family, that's a given. But at the same time, I think have fun with it. We only have one life. So I'm a firm believer in doing the things that bring you joy, dedicating time to that. And eventually, the time that you dedicate to those things will bring you the income that you're looking for. And it doesn't have to be totally unrelated. So 100%. Ant is that all-around guy. I think I was trying to describe him to someone a few weeks ago, and I was like, he's a photographer, a DJ, like a producer, and what else does he do? I mean, the list goes on and on. He's out here doing everything. I don't know how he's not snatched up yet, but we'll talk about that. A great segue into the relationship segment of our show. So we talk about relationships.
We talk about relationships.
What that looks like.
Okay.
What does dating look like in Los Angeles being a moving target? That's how I'm going to describe it, because this week you're in Atlanta, next week you're in Miami, next week you're in New York on your grind. What does that look like?
I'm a Leo.
I like long walks.
Long walks on the beach. I like to play Scrabble under the moonlight.
He does.
With a bottle of wine.
Low-key nerd.
With some Luther. And some Anita. Moving target. That's funny. I guess to be a moving target, somebody's aiming for you.
There you go. Perspective.
Dating in LA is interesting. I don't think it's as, I think it's the same anywhere. Dating all boils down to, what you're ready for at that time. And if the person that comes along, what you attract to yourself. If that person that is attracted to you, if you're attracted to them, and then if you're ready for what they're expecting to get out of a relationship. Now the difference is, a lot of my friends back home are married, have kids, and so seemingly they've gotten the family thing figured out.
You have a lot of blueprints when you get to
I do have a lot of blueprints.
A lot of people cheering for you along the way.
But I think when it comes to LA, when it comes to anything that you're passionate about, because you're going to get it no matter what career discipline you go into. If somebody's an engineer or they're a teacher or they're going to grad school, whatever, everybody's always like, I don't have time. I'm focused on this. I got
for a family?
Well, for a relationship, But
I haven't heard that a lot.
Well, I think what it is.
But in LA, I could imagine.
In LA, but
people go to LA to chase.
Yeah, wherever you're chasing your dream at. Now, even when it's like a discipline that you have to do, like if you're in grad school or in law school, it's like, you're okay with a partnership, but they need to understand that, like,
this is my priority.
This is my priority.
Right now.
Now the problem with when you're in entertainment is your life could change tomorrow. Like you're putting in this random lane where there's no A, B, C equals X, Y, Z.
Right.
When you're in grad school, you know that, okay, if I go to class, I pass the bar, I go to this, I'm going to be a lawyer. Or when you're a doctor, I have to do this, I have to do my residency.
Yeah.
With film, I could be here right now, somebody can see this podcast, be like, hey, Essence, we got a radio show for you. Or when I'm on the road for this tour, somebody can see me on stage in New York and be like, hey, actually, what are your thoughts on this? And we got to pick up and go. But it's still the same. I mean, we're like 10 years behind when it comes to thinking about relationships and settling down. But it comes down to what are you ready for?
Who's we?
People in LA. I feel like LA, entertainment.
Right.
Because if you do get the grass is greener on the other side mentality, like, oh, this person is cool, but what about this? Or, yo, like, yeah, she's cool, but what about when I blow up and then I'm in a whole nother stratosphere with all these other people that are going to know me? You know what I'm saying? I get on, Halle Berry and Sanaa are going to know my name. I'm like, I might want to be available. Right. But if your mama didn't raise no fool, you recognize a good thing when you see it. And I've probably been a fool in the past a time or two. So, currently I'm watching another light-skinned dude live out my life with somebody I probably shouldn't have married. But if it was supposed to happen, it was supposed to happen.
Exactly, if it was meant to be.
So dating, I've for me, I know a couple things. Like CJ tells me, my frat brother Clarence, Dancer Jr., the only constant in any situation is me. And I'm really big on being transparent, on saying, hey, I want to get to know you and not be all serious, or I'm either 0 or 100, or I'm either like, I love you, you're the person, let's go. But my recovery from heartbreak is terrible. Yeah. So I've kind of just been like putting that energy just into work, because if I'm all in and I get heartbroken, then I'm eating cereal, watching Black and White Bonanza in my drawers for 3 months, and it's really, really bad. So,
but I firmly believe that God prepares you in these ways. So you had to go through that heartbreak to learn how to recover from it, to learn how to kind of cope in a relationship, learn your coping mechanisms, get better, improve. So we often talk about on this show that phase that people have to go through as far as improving themselves, becoming their best selves, so that they can come to a relationship and come to a marriage as one whole, which I think is critical. So you're on your way. I think you're putting your energy into the right things, the things that matter the most, the things that you're passionate about, and always passion, purpose leads to the right path. I mean, you have an equation actually but tell the people about your equation. I know vision, purpose, passion are in there, but I don't know.
Vision plus passion times action equals purpose.
Okay.
So you have the vision, you definitely are going to have the passion for that vision, because we get visions and ideas all the time and think, oh, I like this, I like that. But if you're passionate about that vision, you have to put some action behind it. Once you put some action behind it, you'll find the purpose, because you're going to find your purpose in actively doing and pursuing what you're passionate about and what you have this vision on.
One of my favorite sayings is, it's not a goal if you can answer the question to do what. So if you can answer the question to do what, that is an action step.
Gotcha.
If you can't answer it, then you've reached your goal. So that's one of my favorite. Like, it's up in my office.
It's not a goal if you can answer to do what. So
if you ask yourself, what do I want to do this for? To do what? And you can answer that question, then your answer to that is an action step towards your goal. It's not the actual goal.
Gotcha.
So if you say, I need to go to the store to do what?
To get milk.
To get milk. To do what? To nourish my body.
Gotcha.
Then that helps you get to your goal, right? So simple.
I like that.
Right. So it's one of my favorite things. I remind myself, I have all kinds of phrases and mantras around my office and my space.
I'm going to use that when girls ask me to go out. Like,
exactly.
Hey, can we hang out? To do what?
Absolutely.
To do what?
But that's critical. So we also talk a lot about being intentional in relationships, dating intentionally. Like, what is your purpose when you're dating? Is it just to get laid for the night? Is it to have companionship? Is it, like, you have to be clear about those things. Yeah. And when moving into a relationship, you guys both have to be on the same page about what the goal is.
You do the marriage counselor.
I mean, I got a few years in this thing. Almost 4.
Really?
I mean, I'm not a vet, but that's a lot, right? In young years and youthful marriages.
Yeah, I couldn't combine the girls I've dated into 4 years. So
you're on your way, though. You're on your way. I see you maturing. I see your pictures, and like you going to the gym, and I'm tapping Nick. I'm like, I
just, you gotta stay ready and gotta get ready. I said for my birthday,
absolutely,
I was gonna be the sexiest I've ever been in life.
I can tell you've been working out. I can tell.
It. Doing a little bit. I figured, Will Smith is making Bad Boys 3. They're gonna need somebody to pick
Is
up
that
the mantle for
happening?
bad boys.
I've
Yeah,
seen
it's
some
happening.
kind of like leading messages on Instagram.
It's
Okay.
happening. Will
It's
Smith
happening.
has the greatest Instagram of all time, by the way.
Man,
But,
he hopped on and really just went for it.
Yeah.
Combined the Instagram with the YouTube and
yeah,
just kind of
smart.
Yeah.
Like it's about.
I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's got years of experience.
Yeah,
He
definitely.
knows what he's doing. His kids are in line for greatness. There's no way that they can fail. They're allowed to just be. See, that's the beauty of being financially set up and
Yep.
setting your children up and kind of setting the blueprint for them. They can just
Yep.
be as free as they want. They don't have to worry about how they look. They
Yep.
don't have to worry about what they sound like.
Right.
Although I heard Jaden's album is fire.
Oh,
I haven't
I-
heard it, but I heard
yeah.
it's certified fire. I've heard a few songs, but I haven't listened to
Yeah.
the entire album. But
No,
shout out
I-
to the Smiths.
Yeah.
If you're ever in Seattle, Will Smith, Jaden, Jada, come on,
Right.
talk of the town. We want you. We
Yeah.
want to have you here. We need to learn.
No, they're
from
dope.
you.
And I mean, that's even when people ask me, like, oh, when are you going to have kids? In my head, I'm thinking of, like, what I visibly have seen, like, Ice Cube do with his kids. I've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
Will Smith. Like, I mean, when I
That's
worked
the
on...
whole purpose is to set them up for
Yeah.
success.
When I worked on Straight Outta Compton, Daryl, the Cube's son, or whatever, great dude. We were office PAs together. We were
Yeah.
getting lunch orders in a Porsche Cayenne. You know what I mean?
then
But
he
seeing
was
him, yeah, his son being able to learn the ropes, him taking under his wing, and then being like, okay, you're gonna produce on this, you're gonna do
Sure.
this, and make it in a family business. And you know, you look at that and you're like, damn, like that's dope. I mean, I'm glad, I'm proud of my journey and. You know, the people that have taken me under their wing, you know, like
Yeah.
Jeff
You
Flanagan
needed
and
those
Robert
people.
Townsend and all them, and it's been great. But to be like, yo, if you come into an industry or any field, architecture, whatever, and you have a foundation already set where you can really grow and learn.
Absolutely.
Even when I think about like the director Francis Ford Coppola, his daughter Sofia Coppola, you know, been winning awards, and she's a director. His son is he's a special effects person, but
Right.
they learn from being on set with their dad
Absolutely.
and learn from the best. So that's the kind of environment. If I ever was with a family, it has to be that. It can't be
Right.
anything less.
Yeah.
So
And you have to be intentional about that. So you were
Yeah.
very clear on that vision for your family, vision for your future children, and it's going to happen. Like there's
potential
no way.
future children. I don't want any kids, but
So you're not sure whether or not you want kids?
well, knowing that for the most part, I feel like 97% of women want children.
Mm-hmm.
So you meet the right woman, then of course you want to build and grow.
Oblige
Yeah,
your wife, your
exactly.
future wife.
Hey, if
But
she want
what
to take
are-
this seed, we're gonna let it grow.
What are the reasons why you would not want children?
I don't think I'm too confident in the climate of the country,
sure.
but also
For sure.
Whoopi Goldberg once said a quote when she was like, when President Obama got elected, it was the first time she felt like she could set her bags down in America. So,
And not be ready to
and
dip
yeah,
at
just
any
it's
given
just
time.
she just felt like I'm a part.
That
I'm a
is-
part of this country,
makes
and we
sense.
kind of have this existence where we don't really feel like we belong. Like we're here. We set the tone, the culture. We have fun within our bubbles, but it doesn't feel as inclusive.
Right.
And I think it's going to take, if anything positive comes from the Trump administration, it takes the turmoil of being felt like you torn asunder to snap back together. It's almost that thing of the rubber band being pulled, and
Yeah.
you're going to see people's true colors, but true people that really want an inclusive environment and world and things to be better, they're going to fight and champion, and they're going to be called to task to stick up for people that don't look
Yeah.
like them,
Absolutely.
as opposed to minorities always having to understand their viewpoint. They got to understand us. So I just would want to be financially. One part of me, the naive part, is like, oh, I want to be financially stable. But at the same time, I don't want to miss moments along the way that could be happening while I get there. But
And you're
I'm
never
also-
really ready.
You're never
like you
really
can
ready.
prepare your child, and then something happened, a
Yeah.
medical emergency, and boom, your
Yeah.
savings is
Yeah,
drowned.
you never
or,
know.
You know, there's always something.
And I'm thinking I want to
But-
get a place in, like, I think I want to get property, like, in another country. Like, you know, somewhere like, you
we'll
know,
work on that. We're going to speak that
Ghana,
into existence.
Kenya. Like, I want to go somewhere on, like, the,
For
west
sure.
coast of Africa. Somewhere in, like, Central America, I think would be dope.
Yeah.
Just the world it's different. It's global. I think people forget. Like
So big.
we're live streaming now. We could post this on hashtag Japan, Nairobi, Kenya, whatever. You can see what people are doing in those countries right now. It's not like we have to wonder about it.
It's the beauty of technology.
Yeah, so because the world's so accessible, then why can't our lives and the things that we want to do and the experience we want to have be the same way? So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree. You're never really ready for kids, but I also couldn't imagine what my life would be like without Malachi at this point.
Yeah.
And so I think the joy of that is that you get to have your own personal touch on this little human and decide kind of who they become, how they are molded, what their beliefs are, and you just have to do your best in that. So yeah, trust Nick and I, you know your friend. Nick and I have talked a lot about relocating to different countries, like the benefits. Right now we're touring preschools, and at the end of the last tour, Nick also is digesting news all day, watching videos. He watched some video about some teacher pushing a kid and pulling the chair off from under the kid, and immediately he was like, I'm homeschooling Malachi.
Dude,
which I'm okay with.
For one video?
I'm okay. I mean, but you never know where those teachers are. So we'll see. We'll see if it sticks. We got a few more tours to go, some Montessori schools, some different preschools, but it's a big decision because you're setting your child up for what their future looks like.
Well,
and it starts this young.
That's true.
Yeah. So good luck with that. We'll be rooting for you.
Yeah.
I know there's going to be some little Aunt Roses running around, some little social revolutionaries who are going to do great things in the world. Just, I'll be there when it happens.
Yeah, not anytime soon.
So tell us about your health and fitness journey. You said you wanted to be in the best shape of your life.
My health and fitness.
Did I paraphrase that correctly?
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm a strong believer that you really just got to control what you can control. Like living in LA and things aren't always going to go right, and a lot of it's hurry up and wait. So I was like, okay, I've always been like fairly active. Like I've been playing in a rec league basketball thing for like last 3 years or whatever.
Now you're being intentional.
Yeah, being more intentional, and like, cause I'll go running. I'll be like, okay, I want to make sure I run, or I can still run. My thing is like, as long as I can run a mile under 8 minutes, I'm good. But
stay nice and young for those kids and active.
Oh,
you have to consider
you keep
that.
talking about these kids.
I'm just saying you gotta be prepared to run around.
You gotta be prepared to run around.
I can't sit still. I got a 2-year-old toddler. I gotta keep up with him.
Part of it though too is like being on the road like this time of year when it's a lot. It's like you just have to be healthy because it takes a toll on you, and just like sleep. Like lack of sleep is a catalyst to like getting sick, and then you're not eating right all the time. And part of it was
eating out,
and then being in LA, like even like it's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's day 16. Shout out to Michael Anthony Snowden. He's been counting down all the time. And sometimes we think, like I say I'm in a funk. I don't like to say like, oh, I'm depressed or anything like that, but you get frustrated and in a funk sometimes and in your head about certain things that you can't really fix or try to figure out, and then you notice you're not eating right, you're putting on weight. And I think I got to a point I was like, ooh, I put on a little weight. I was like, hold on, man.
At some point you look in the mirror and you're like,
I was like, oh, I don't have no kids to be trying to have a semi-dad body. So I've always been pretty like fit, high metabolism, but I was like, you know what, let's just see how hard you can go. So it's really just been being disciplined and being like, okay, the one thing I can just control is working out, being healthy.
What you do.
Yeah, that nobody else has a bearing on that but me. And in the industry I'm in, once again, it is a very vain existence. So it's like if you look the part, if you look good, people want to mess with you. If you look like you have money, like, oh, you must be doing all right. It's like I'm struggling like the rest of y'all, but I'm gonna, and then my birthday's coming up in August, so I was like, man, I'm gonna just walk on the beach with a bottle of baby oil and just sprinkle me.
Douse.
That's it. Just douse
Beautiful.
Me. So we'll see.
You gotta be that change, and I hear the maturity again. I mean, I hear you saying what leads to getting sick, and I mean, as you mature, it's just all becomes very clear. You're like, this makes perfect sense. Why I would keep up with my health and fitness to make sure I'm in the best shape of my life. And then, true. I mean, what if you meet your wife while you're on the road? You gotta be ready, right? Stay ready. You never gotta get ready.
You gotta get ready, but they ain't ready for all this stuff. It's a bit much.
Yeah. In due time. Watch it like next month. We hear from you. Like, guess what? Guess who I met? You said you're 0 or 100, so.
Yeah, but
when it happens, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen hard.
I'm dating and getting to know people and having fun, and I think it's just all about honesty and transparency. I'm not one of those people to like sell you a dream and be baby. I'm just
And
like,
you
look,
shouldn't be.
you want to hang out, you hang out. What you see is what you get. So
Absolutely. Well, we're so excited that you were able to join us here on the show today, Talk of the Town. And
We're done?
Thank you for joining us.
It's over?
You got more to say to the people? We don't have to be done.
No, I don't really know what else to say. Keep supporting Essence and Talk of the Town.
We're Talk of the Town.
We're gonna figure it out where she can live stream on the flow.
Absolutely.
Make it happen.
Streaming regularly, weekly on Rainer Avenue Radio. We're on SoundCloud. You can find us on Google Play. Soon to be iTunes, probably in the next month or so. Look out for us. Yeah.
I'm proud of you. You've been doing this for a minute. I actually found. Remember we were doing who was I filming for? When I was consulting for Lively, I think, and we were trying to film some comedy stuff. I found one of those videos.
Some old interviews.
With
Nate Jackson. He was just popping up. Ralph Porter. Did some interviews as well. We've been doing this thing for a while.
Yeah, you killed it. So
the only difference is Ant moved to LA. I stay here. Started a family.
We're gonna get you guys.
But we're still all one. We're still elevating.
We're gonna get y'all to move to Sunshine. But Seattle's beautiful right now.
It's not hard right now because Seattle is crazy expensive. Yeah. So if someone hit us with the right convincing situation or scenario, it wouldn't be difficult at all.
Yeah, get Nick to be a professor at USC.
Yeah, man. The problem is Nick don't want to pay for any more school loans, so that would be the challenge.
Why does he pay for more school loans?
Because he would have to be the teaching certificate.
Oh.
Yeah. So if
I heard there's ways around that though, because somebody talked to me about being a guest professor. Like I know a couple people that do guest professorships or filling in like part time, and there's some ways around it. There's always
he's had a couple conversations. Like he's supposed to speak at the Black History Assembly or event at Eastern Washington. So he's got some connections. He's got some people, but convincing him to take the steps to get there will be a different story. But
I would just have to sell a movie at Cannes by next year and pay it off on him.
Right, but that is the plan. We're speaking this right now. The plan is for all of us to keep elevating, to buy a piece of property on an island somewhere, raise each other's kids as a village, and just up one another. And do holidays on the yacht. You heard it here first, so.
I'm with it. It's been fun.
It's been a blast. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy we got to vibe together and chat and talk about life. And keep supporting the flow. Got all kind of content here. Keep supporting Talk of the Town. We appreciate you being here with us today, and enjoy this beautiful weather.
Peace.